like to show you how to use HTML5 inline blocking and floats. And let's start with an example here. So basically what I've done is I've created an unordered list here with three elements, 1, 2, and 3. And I've given it a little bit of styling where the unordered list has a background of gray, so you can kind of see what's going on the side. And the list element also has a background of yellow, and the font size is 200, so you can see it. So this is the result of just this piece of code in HTML. So now what I'm going to do is, let's say instead of doing this, I wanted the list to be vertically shown. So one way you can easily do this is use the inline blocks, which is what I was going to show you. So all I'm going to do is turn on the inline block in the CSS for li element, and see now interesting thing has happened is that the blocks are one after the another, which is what we expected, and that's what you get for the three elements. So now what I want to do is restrict the width of the element to be 100 pixels. So let's see what happens if I do that. And once I do this, they are aligned in this fashion. And the reasons you see a couple of twos is because I had like 3 of them here, and the width is only 100 pixels. But let's say we didn't want them to be by default aligned to the bottom, and you want it to be aligned to the top. So what you can do is you can say vertical align is top, and that's what I'm going to do in CSS. And if I do the result, this is what you normally would get. One thing to note here is that here between the blocks you see a little gray, and that's a margin of almost 4 pixels on most modern browsers, and it's very strange. One way to easily get rid of this is you come over here and you take out the HTML5 spaces in between, and that's what I'm going to do. And if I take out the HTML5 white spaces in between and reshape it, oh, here you see those gaps have gone away. So this is one example of a case where it is sensitive to the HTML5 spaces. Normally there is another alternate way to deal with this problem, so I'm going to go back and do this, and so you can see here now we have the spaces. Alternate way to deal with this is to take the margin right and set it for 4 pixel here to keep track of that, and I'm going to do that, and see here now it's basically aligned and took care of the 4 spaces. So that's an interesting thing, and you can kind of play around with this and see how that works. So let me show you this with another example here, and what I'm going to do is I have a div with 2 paragraphs, and I'm going to enable that so you can see the 2 paragraphs, actually 4 paragraphs, and you can see the 4 paragraphs are aligned as expected vertically. And I want to go over the same case where we don't really want to align these things vertically. So I'm going to go step by step and see what happens. So I'm going to turn on some CSS here. So what this has done is that for the div ID container, we have a border of 2 pixel and solid black, so which is kind of nice. You see it over here, and we have the 4 paragraphs in here. And if you wanted to see this fourth paragraph is kind of not aligned to the top, so we could do that if we wanted to. So I can align to the top, and then this is the desired result of 4 paragraphs, and we still have the ID container. So one other thing you can do is sometimes instead of using the new inline block, you could try this with the floats. And floats have some quirks as well, as do the inline blocking. And the quirks I can show you is like for here, for example, I can take away the inline blocking, and we should get the results which we expected one after another. And I'm going to try this with the float. So I'm going to turn the float on, and if I turn the float on, the paragraphs can basically be, you can get the paragraph results of vertical line and stuff just the way you expected it. But the problem is that the ID container, the container line gets squished. So I'm not sure if I know how to take care of that. And in this case, if you had such an example, it would make sense to use inline blocking. So hopefully you have learned a few tricks of inline blocking and floats. And thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you want to know more, you can go to my website and search for HTML5 and JavaScripts and look for many other resources. For example, if I go in there, I have several books, free links, and some videos. And thank you for watching again. You have a great day. Thanks.